Hey guys, it's Eric Cronover from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source of all your nerdy geeky needs, here with a brand new show. That's right. Uh, we have Mandalore Mandate Episode 1. Now, if you're asking yourself, what is this show? Well, whenever we started Holocron Herald, we weren't entirely sure what it was going to be. We knew it was Star Wars, but we didn't know exactly what it would be, and it turned into a Clone Wars breakdown show, which we love. We absolutely love doing. That's why we keep doing it. But we also wanted to talk about Star Wars news and also just different topics in general. So, this is our show for that. So, every week we'll break down whatever news there is for the week. There isn't always a ton of news, but whatever there is, we'll break it down for you. And then we'll have our own discussion topics about Star Wars and stuff that we will break down. So, this episode, joining me, I have Luke. How you doing, Luke?
Pretty good. I got this call from Eric about an hour ago. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this Mandalore Mandate," and I said Mandate. So like, if you ever miss this, I'm shooting someone. Oh, like that. That's very committed to the cause, but okay.
I It took me a second to understand what you were saying, actually. But we are missing. John will also usually be on the show. It's possible
He's the one getting shot.
we may add a host or two at some point. Don't know. It depends if there's big topics, really. If there isn't, we'll keep it simple. But yeah, so just the two of us for this one. So let's get on into it. So to start things off, we have our. This is our day in history, basically. But it's on this day a long, long time ago. So April 3rd is the day that we are recording this. You're probably listening to it a day or two after.
What?
Well, I mean, it gets uploaded like almost midnight, so there's that. But April 3rd in 2013, so 5 years ago, half a decade now, Disney shut down LucasArts and laid off its staff. It's a sad day. So yes, they were formerly, previously they were Lucasfilm. Wait, they were Lucasfilm Games. Then they became LucasArts Entertainment Company. Then they just became LucasArts. But yeah, they made video games. Then Disney came along and said, "No, you don't make video games anymore." Got rid of them. So yes, that is what happened. It's been 5 years since that happened, and now we have licensed video games. And gotta be honest, I'd kind of prefer their own studio just working on it on video games. But hey, we'll see what comes out from now on. I don't know. It's rumored that we'll apparently get a shoot. What was it? Was it an open world game? I think that
That
was
sounds
rumored
awesome.
from EA. But it's from EA, so I don't know. I don't
I don't feel
know.
like paying for something 20 times.
Yeah, exactly. But either way, moving on to a bit of news. We have 4 news articles. None of them are very big, so we'll go through them pretty quick. Our first one is the Star Wars crossovers. New Darth Vader TIE Advanced there's in-hand images showing the riders and more. So if you aren't aware of what this is,
I am not.
it
Please tell
is
me, Eric.
Darth Vader's TIE fighter that transforms into Darth Vader. That's right. This is a Transformers Star Wars crossover. It's in Japan right now. It's Takara is the company doing it, which is the other company other than Hasbro that has the rights to Transformers. But yeah, they had the license to do this. So they are doing a crossover lines, which was done a while ago, but this is apparently a new one with new tooling. There's also going to be, which isn't in this article, a Millennium Falcon that it transforms into a Han Solo and Chewbacca. A new one.
I was
Because
just gonna ask
there
that.
was an old one, but yeah. So we can see that this comes with, he has a lightsaber, but he also comes with a tiny little, I believe, it's like 3 stormtroopers. No, there's 5 stormtroopers shown. I thought there might have been a Vader, but I'm not seeing. Oh wait, I see a Vader in one picture. Yeah, so there's 5
Yeah,
stormtroopers and a Vader that go inside of it. Well, only assume you can only probably fit one in it at a time, but there is that.
that just brings up further
Also,
questions.
apparently there's a base mode. I'm just seeing for the first time, so that's interesting. You can have Vader with the stormtroopers on a little base. So, yeah, that's interesting. And there's a little bit of Transformers crossover for your first episode of Mandalore Mandate. So, yeah, there's that. Next bit of news is that Daisy Ridley, it seems, has read the episode 9 script because they have said now that Finn and Rey will team up again. I saw this that John Boyega at a panel said that Daisy Ridley sent him a text saying, "OMG, we're together again,"
These are the texts I send Eric.
talking about the movie and how their characters are together again in the movie. So apparently, in the Last Jedi, they were separated the entire time. Apparently, just like the Force Awakens, where I'd say they had pretty good chemistry. For Episode 9, they will be together again for at least some of the time. I hope it's not the entire time because I don't know how that would go, but I don't know. Who knows? I feel like it'd be better if they were together for like a decent chunk of the movie, but still had their own solo parts. But hey, we don't know.
Solo.
No, stop it. Actually, that's a pretty good carryover into our next thing,
Da da da.
which is Ron Howard is saying that Solo, a Star Wars movie, their edit has already been locked in, and that there should be a new trailer soon, and that this is early. Like they didn't expect it to be the edit to be all locked in already, but hey, it is. Also, they said that the last bit of scoring and final sound mix are all happening this week, and that it's all exciting. So hey, everything seems to be going well for the wrapping up of this movie. So I'm curious to see how this movie is. Either way,
It was just the beginning and the middle that were terrible.
the new trailer coming soon. What do you want to see in that trailer, Luke? What if they put it in this trailer would sell you on this movie?
I want to see Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was
That
gonna
would
say.
completely. I would go out of my way to do that. But to see it, I'd stab myself so I get out of work.
I would say if I feel like if they don't put Boba Fett in, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot
But
because it's a
but
pretty easy thing to do. You put Darth Vader. I feel like putting Boba Fett in the Solo movie is less of a stretch than putting Vader in Rogue One. I don't know, but
I I would like to see if like Han and Lando were playing Sabacc. That would be cool.
oh,
Or
I mean, I'm pretty sure they will in the movie. I think we'll see that, but
yeah.
in the trailer, I would like to see that. I would definitely like to see a bit more of Lando in the trailer because I'm really liking what I've seen so far of Lando. So,
Or and I'd
Donald
like
Glover,
this,
but yeah,
and
I would love to see
I'd
that.
like if like we could see Han like talking his way out of a situation because like Force Awakens, like you swindled everyone at this point.
Yeah,
I'd love if he's just like talking his way out of something, making shit up.
honestly, that would be pretty
That'd be great.
that would be pretty funny to see just Han Solo. I hope that Han Solo is a scoundrel. I hope we get a bit of that in the trailer because the trailers don't seem to
Yeah.
be showing him as like scum, yet. They're showing him as like kind of a hero, which he really isn't supposed to be that much of a hero right now. It's supposed to be his arc later, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm not one of the people that's adamantly against this movie. I don't know what it'll contribute to Star Wars canon like as a whole or anything, but I am still excited for this as a movie to enjoy. So, and then last bit of news is that the scoring for Solo, a Star Wars story, is completely finished as the movie kicks off its promo campaign. And I gotta say that one of the things I am most interested in this movie after the trailer is the music, because I really liked the trailer music, which isn't going to be the same thing as the score for the movie, but
Oh.
the sound could reflect. That's all we have right now, so that type of sound could be present several times throughout the
What?
movie. But I'm assuming the score will be pretty different all throughout. But I'm very curious to see how it goes because movie scores are something that interests me greatly. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
What kind of music do you think Han Solo would listen to? Da 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 da.
I want to. I don't know. That's a good question. What music would Han Solo listen to? That's gonna be our first discussion topic. Um, we have a main one that we'll talk about soon, but
Just an hour talking about like, what do you think he'd like K-pop?
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to. Part of me's like saying maybe blues, but I feel like that's a little too down for him. But I don't know.
Just dead silence the whole time. He's just flying through space in dead silence.
Rock? I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of curious now.
What if it is like Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack?
That would be hilarious / awesome. But Yeah, I don't. I honestly don't know. I think it's a really good question, though. What type of music would Han Solo listen to? But our real discussion topic is what is the best lightsaber type slash combo? Now, this was inspired by a post that I saw on Instagram from an account called Star Wars Facts, Star Wars underscore facts with a Z, which is a great account. So it posts lots of little fun little things and facts that even I don't always know. Some are canon, some aren't, but they're all labeled. It's nice, it's neat. Um, but it had all the different lightsaber types that we have seen so far. And so just to go through what most of them were.
I know a lot about this actually because I researched this.
So I'm trying to think. I was going to see if I can name all of them off the top of my head. There's the saber specifically. We're talking about the dark saber is the one pictured. So that one, the reason why is because it's like a actual flat blade. It's shaped like an actual sword blade, whereas most lightsabers are like a pole of plasma that'll just kill you, to slice through anything anyways because it's plasma. But the dark saber was actually shaped. The blade was shaped like an actual blade, which I love so much. But then we have saber staff, which is Darth Maul. Single blade, obviously. Then you could say double-bladed lightsaber. I don't know if this was on there or not, but double-bladed lightsaber as in Exar Kun's. Because there is a difference between a double-bladed lightsaber and a saber staff. Saber staff, like Darth Maul's, has a very long handle, and it's like an actual staff. Whereas a double-bladed lightsaber is essentially the size of one regular lightsaber, and you hold it with one hand, but it has a blade on both sides, which I gotta say is the most dangerous and least practical out of all of them. I'm just putting that out there.
He's Exarchon. He's good.
Yeah. Next thing is lightsaber with a shoto, which if you aren't aware, that's so a regular lightsaber with a basically a tiny other lightsaber that you also use. There's also dual wielding. There's the crossguard lightsaber. There's also Ezra's lightsaber, which was a gun and a lightsaber at once. His first lightsaber. I'm trying to think. Is there any that you can think of that I'm leaving out?
I can think of the pikes.
Yeah, which are
The,
kind of similar to saber staffs, but they are different.
What's those nunchuck kind of things that like go up your forearm?
Shoot, I know what you're talking about. I think was her name Maris Brood, I want to say? It was the apprentice of Shakti in the Force Unleashed game.
Yeah, but they use those things. I always forget the name for them. But they're like really unpractical to use. I know that. They're like I think it's like Shoto or something like that.
That's what Ahsoka's thing was called, that she had, like the small one, like that was called a Shoto. So that's what I'm trying to think, like, but that's what I kind of thought. Maris Brood lightsaber. But yeah, I honestly don't know what you would specifically.
Or it sounds like a tauntaun.
It's with their tonfa shaped.
That's what it is.
Hilts.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, you can wield very many different ways, but they are also granted most of the time to be pretty impractical. So I don't know.
Oh, and there's that somebody had this body armor where it would shoot lightsabers out from like whatever.
No, we're not even.
We gotta acknowledge it. We gotta acknowledge it.
Yes, there's the guy who had the most lightsabers ever, which was like our body armor that essentially had lightsaber blades all over it.
Oh
it's ridiculous.
It's
But now that we have all those lightsaber types, what do you think is the best one? Like, what is the best, like, most practical out of all of those?
Like most effective or like my favorite? Or like what I would use?
Like, give both. So, but specifically first, say which is the best, not your favorite. Like, which is the most, like, which is the best to use? Like, which one would be the best?
Oh, and we forgot light whip by the way too.
Oh yes, there is light whip.
I would think like the pole arm or like Maul's would be I would think that Maul's would be the best.
Maul's is extremely hard to train, but I think that if you trained, long enough that you knew how to do it. Honestly, I don't particularly care for her lightsaber, but Ventress's, I'd say, is actually the best because it's the best of both worlds, if you know what I mean. Because it cheats. It gives you the saber staff type thing, but it also splits
Oh
apart.
yeah.
So you also have dual sabers, which means you can also use a single saber, or you can dual wield sabers, or you can have a saber staff. So in all
I
reality, the best lightsaber in Star Wars, even though I don't care for the curled hilts whenever it's a saber staff, that's a little weird,
yeah, I'm
is
confused how that
Ventress's.
works.
You can see how like the curves they counteract each other almost, but still that puts it like on an angle kind of, which if you're
Yeah.
used to using, it's easy, but still not my favorite. I'd prefer just a double lightsaber that split apart, so a saber staff that actually just split apart. But you know, uh, if I had to say in particular, so I would personally, no matter what type of lightsaber you pick, I'm just gonna say that you can put a blade on it, like the saber, as in the dark saber, that type of thing, if you wanted to, because in all reality, that's not a specific like. That doesn't have to be on a single saber. If it's on a single saber, you can adapt it to be on a saber staff or whatever. So I would say my like as to what I think would be the best lightsaber to use would be one with specifically the saber blade. That is a saber staff that could split apart.
Yeah.
I think that extra blade would give you an edge because
Haha, Edge.
literally though, because it gives you an entire side to a lightsaber. Like it gives you dimensions to a lightsaber, whereas the lightsaber is just like a stick almost. But this would be like an actual blade, which I feel like that's more area for you one to block with, but also two just to use in combat in general. Like it's more plasma for you to throw at someone. So personally, I think the best lightsaber that you could have would be saber blade with just a detachable saber staff. Would you agree or would you differ?
Oh yeah, that was a pretty solid argument for it. So is that like what you would take as your favorite, like you would use?
So mine would specifically be black. We're not going to get into what the lightsaber colors mean right now because that could be an entirely different day. But you could say what color you
Okay,
would want.
I got research. I got research on it already. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I would go with black. Like I would have a dark saber, but I would probably do. Yeah, I think I'd probably do a saber staff that could detach. Although a double bladed, I mean, not a double bladed, a crossguard dark saber would be pretty freaking cool. I gotta say, the crossguard does have its advantages. I just think that the saber staff that could detach overall is the best of. It's the best that you can get without literally combining everything into one lightsaber. So I think that I would do
That's
basically
what
what I
that
said as the
body
base.
armor's for, Eric.
No.
Well,
What's your favorite lightsaber design?
favorite?
Yeah.
I actually really like the crossguard. I don't know why. I just really
I
do.
do too, in all honesty. That's why I was like, I kind of would want one, but also I actually know how to use a bow staff, so like I would actually, I really wouldn't be able to use a lightsaber
Oh,
that well because I don't know how to use a sword, like
we're
like,
fighting one day. We're fighting one day of like fake lightsabers.
but like I actually know how to use a bow staff, and while obviously not the same
What?
thing, that is still,
What?
yeah, I actually did
I didn't.
train
I
on.
didn't know this.
Yeah, I actually know how to use a bow staff. I learned how to. It's really cool. It's fun. It's a
Yeah.
cool weapon. I like it.
Hey,
But
you know what? I know how to use to beat that though. A gun.
but I can deflect all of your bullets with my bow staff. But
Just like a,
yeah, that's how it works. But
a video of Eric doing that and just gets shot.
but yeah, like in all honesty, like if I had to go into battle right now, like yeah, everyone can swing a sword, but you're not trained. Like you don't actually know how to use it. I know how to use a bow staff somewhat. Obviously, not at the level of a Jedi or a Sith, but like I'm somewhat equipped, so that would actually be kind of interesting. So yeah, I'd go. That's what I do for sure.
Like,
So you would pick a crossguard. What color?
oh, like that's what I like. That's not what I would use. That was just like what existed, and like that's my favorite. Honestly, I would love to make like a Tonfa one with just like a ridiculously long blade.
You want the weird handle?
I want a Tonfa that like goes out, like not like down towards my elbow, like like out
And
towards my
if you
palm.
don't understand what we're talking about, literally just look up Maris Brood lightsaber. You'll see it.
But like, could you imagine like if I had two of them like on my forearms and they're each like 4 feet long? How great that would be to fight with.
Yeah, I mean, all honesty,
And
if I had the option, I would go cyborg body,
yeah,
General Grievous style.
yeah, and I like they did in Last Jedi, like where he just turned it off and on again to stab someone. I would spam the hell out of that.
In all honesty, that is like a really good idea that no one ever does. So.
Like do the drilling thing, like Palpatine, and I'm just gonna spam the button off and on, and just stab someone like 20 times with it.
But yeah. So wait. Did you say what color you would do yours or no?
I like. I have to go with yellow. I like the yellow ones.
I do. So like, if you go with meetings, I do like yellow a lot. I also like orange a lot. But we are just. I was gonna say right now we aren't diving into meetings because that's a way bigger topic than just lightsabers in general. But yeah. So I think it's. I don't know. I go back and forth on what I'd want all the time because I also do like purple, but it's crazy. In all honesty, I'd probably build a lot of lightsabers and it'd be like, what am I in the mood for right now? I'd pick it up and just pick the one I wanted. But yeah.
A fine addition to my collection.
Also, just for the record, because I was discussing with John earlier, he was saying that his personal favorites, not necessarily what he think is the best, like most practical, but his favorites are either the single bladed or the cross guard. Which he said that he thinks it would probably be the single bladed, even though more now he thinks he likes the cross guard now because he tends to just like really like whatever the newest lightsaber design is. So whenever they like reinvent it, so like how
we didn't even talk about the Inquisitor ones.
So, oh yeah, we didn't mention that.
Those are the ones that do everything.
But they're not as practical because they can be disabled really easily because there's a giant space for you to get your hand cut off, but it's not exactly. But it like the thing is a saber staff, like there's that staff part in the middle, but it's not a giant wheel. Whereas the Inquisitor one, you can just cut part of that wheel off, and that is going to mess with the lightsaber and essentially any functionality it had. So, also, I don't think it's as wide as the saber staff either, because I think it is essentially almost a single handle. It's not quite, because you can hold it with two hands. But you're right, we did leave out Inquisitor.
I feel like you can definitely smash that off the ground, though.
Well, you can what?
I feel like if I just took the Inquisitor blade and smashed it on the ground, it would break.
Oh, yeah. Inquisitor lightsabers, from what we've seen so far, are not that durable. They do not take much to take down at all. So that's why I would not want one.
We have to discuss like how Inquisitors get their lightsabers one day, because that still confuses me.
How they get like the crystal or the lightsaber as a whole? Okay.
Like the crystal.
Do we actually know how they get the crystal for sure?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say we know how like Vader got his crystal, but I don't think we know how the Inquisitors got theirs. So I'm curious if they corrupted their own crystals or if they were just given them. My guess is they were given them because they're kind of babied and they're not taken very seriously. So I don't think they were given, honestly, the respect / like actual journey of doing it. So, but I don't know. So there's interesting.
Which is because we have to go read that part like in the Ahsoka novel because like doesn't she hear it crying out?
That's the crystal specifically, yeah. So it is a corrupted crystal, but that's what we're saying. We don't know who corrupted it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we don't know where it came from. So.
Oh, it's gonna be a great video one day when I'm printing.
Yeah.
And I got big whiteboard in my room now, so I'm just gonna like draw stuff all across that.
You can appear intelligent. You might have no idea what you're talking about, but if you have a giant whiteboard, you can at least appear smart.
Yeah, if I have like big words and stuff circled, it'll work.
But. Yeah, that's about it for this episode. Most episodes will be longer than this one. This is just shorter because it's honestly kind of a test episode. It's a pilot episode, so I was just testing out the format and everything, seeing how it flowed. So, there is that. So, where you can find... Well, actually, first, I'll do what else is on Nerdy Geek Talk. So, newest episode is Steel City Bots. Episode 30 just went up. We talk about possible Nemesis Prime reveal, which could be really cool, but we also think there's a chance it might be an April Fool's joke, but watch the episode to see the evidence for both sides. We really hope it isn't, but we don't know. Also, Rumble is blue, not red. Miguel is terrible. Other podcasts, Misaligned, should also be going up probably the day after this. New episode, episode 5, which may or may not feature Christabella. A new episode of Holocron Herald will also be going up after this, 22, which is our sister show. And in that we discuss Dooku capture and the Gungan General, which may not sound like interesting episodes, but they have Hondo, so they are. So tune into it. And what else? Also, there should be a new episode of TF Primecast sometime this week, and a new episode of Awesome Asylum at some point. So, you can check out the past episode of Awesome Asylum we recorded last week too, which was Deadpool Clones Young Justice. That's the title. I'll just leave it at that if you want to go watch. Other than be glad I'm not a scientist. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to find us, you can follow at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter. And also subscribe to Nerdy Geek Talk on YouTube or any of your favorite podcast listening places. But to find us individually, you can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter. And Luke, what is your Twitter?
At Darth_Sand66. I like to creep on people when they have stupid tweets.
So don't tweet stupid things at Luke. I mean, if you tweet at him, he will respond though. Because he does check, so there is that. He doesn't really use the Twitter that much, but if you tweet at him, he will respond.
I go out of my way to fight people. Yeah.
Also, if you want, you can find John, who isn't here this week but normally will be, at Darth is it underscore? It's at Darth Forge. I can never remember if there's an underscore or not.
I want to say there is not.
Okay, maybe there isn't. I don't know, but either way, there should be a link in the description below too. So. Yeah, that's about it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.